We are Monday mystery game number 1018 as none other than ANDRO DUNOS. Released from Visco Games back in 1992. Classic horizontal shmup action. Had this sitting in the vaults for a while. And it was, you know, I remember seeing this in magazines and just visually looking so good. And I did own the AES system for a short time. But had never played this game. The other button, the bomb button, technically changes your weapons. You've got 4 weapon types located up at the top, and then you've got a charge meter, which you can use for each time you have one of those bomb power-ups. Those angled shots, checking out. That's a good one. You only get so many of those charge shots, and then the charge won't work anymore. If you just press the bomb button again, you'll cycle through to the next weapon. So there's your back shot, and then cycling again. That homing missile. Visually great looking game, great musically. Some good tracks going on in this. $27,400 points. That artwork, Neo Geo, again competing against a lot of the 16-bit era games. Like, this was a crazy looking game in the 16-bit era. Genesis did shmups so well. But the cut screens this game had and the size of some of the bosses and stuff, this was really one that stood out. Very interesting with the power-ups. I think once I saw Pete Hahn maybe do a video on this. GGA Jeremiah, huge fan of UN Squadron. UN Squadron, phenomenal game. Jumping General, what is up? Those sandworm pillars that come up out of the ground, you can destroy those. So, one of the first, those enemies, they have those cannons that take a lot of hits to blow them up. And they shoot pretty regularly. Here's where they start wanting you to get used to your mechanic of switching weapon directions. The different shots, they're trying to teach you to use the right weapon for the right situation. Cool segment right here. You've got moving enemies, you've got ground targets shooting fanned out bullets, and you've got a very strong enemy mid-screen just firing shots at random heights. And that's what they expect to have happen. And, you know, that's a very good game design. It's giving multiple things to deal with at one time. Like, you can't argue with it, but it is very well thought out. That is a very good game design. That enemy, my first playthrough, I had concerns from that enemy because it was shooting on the corners, but then it had that straightforward cannon. 46,650. A lot of attention to detail in the backgrounds. A lot of those lower enemies, good points for them, but they do take a lot more hits. The charge shot is basically a bomb, and you have limited bombs. Oh! That meter up at the top. The B's for bombs, those will usually... Oh, interesting. There it is. They'll usually try to float off screen, but they usually return. Again, those enemies taking fair amount of hits. They are destructible, but risk reward, you gotta see right there, that enemy, they want you to square off directly against it, just like that. Great gaming psychology by the programmers. Programmers are always trying to get your quarters. And the better hidden what they're trying to get you to do, they're trying to get you to lose your quarter. They're trying to put you in a spot where you're not getting frustrated with the game because the enemy is shooting in a specific interval and you got to play the game with it. It's great gaming, great gaming. There's games that don't obey the rules of the game. If you can hide it well enough, you can get away with it. But that's just good programming, good design. Oh, 34,600 points. Great out of the box score. It's a tough game. It's a tough game.
Thanks, Doug. Really good one. Good choice tonight.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Big Bang saying it's a fair game. You know, a lot of the games, you look at a game like Q*bert. Q*bert, people thought the game was too hard. And they told the programmer, Warren Davis, they're like, yo, scale this back. It's too difficult. And it was hard for out-of-the-box players. But when players got good at it, they would run it. That's why they would later go on to make faster, harder, more challenging Q*bert. Warren knew. He was a very